show, the Beautifully Bruised and the CPS show. I am so glad that you have decided to tune in today. We just blessed to see another day. I know my mom's saying used to be, it's good to wake up on this side of the earth and above ground. So I now, the older I get, the more I understand her sayings, and it's beginning to make more and more sense as life goes on. So I just want to take this day to say, welcome again to the Beautifully and Bruised CPS show. I am your host, Latrika Jones. I am so honored and so blessed to be on this platform. I think positive energy right now, with so much that's going on in the world, it is needed to have people to come on to just sometimes to share their truth, to share what they're going through, what they've overcame. And I love this platform because you can tune in 24/7 to get access to vital important information to help you be better, to help learn what you need to know to get your children back. And we know that children are our future. And before I get any further, I must share that again, none of this would even be possible if it wasn't for my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Because without him, I am absolutely nothing. And I don't mean okay, I mean zero. So let me change that hand gesture. I mean, God is amazing. And I tell you, it's been times where sometimes, I didn't know if I was going to make it or overcome the obstacles and challenges, but I assure you, God have, every time I looked up, there's some kind of way he have sent a ram in a bush, or he sent some type of a phone call or text message or an email, whatever you might get, something come through some type of digital device to let you know that help is on the way and confirmation that you will get through this. So again, by this being Freedom Friday, I just want to come on here, and before you start your day, even if you've already started it, I just wanted to just encourage you to keep going. I know my last show that we had some technical difficulties, but like I said before, normally when the devil try to come in and throw off the airways of what you're trying to say, when you're trying to speak life into someone and you're trying to encourage someone and make it, make them realize their strength from within, or to tell them to keep going, you're going to make it. That old devil always try to show his nose up to try to get you discouraged, but the devil is a liar. Okay. Because we are all alive and well. We're here to see another day. There is no more technical difficulties. Everything seemed to be going fine. I am so grateful for Attorney Vince, for his heart, his passion, his experience, nearly 40 years of being an attorney. My God, I tell you, that knowledge is power. Even his producer, Grace, I think she's a joy to have her on this platform to assist us, to bring you news, to bring you important, vital information necessary, I do believe, in some ways, to let you know that you can make it. There is, light at the end of the tunnel, no matter where you are, just to keep going. And with that, me sharing that with you today, I have to let you know that, I'm here in Texas. And when I tell you the heat is real, when I walk outside, I promise you, it feels like the heater is on. And I don't mean no little heat neither. It's like over 100 degrees, and you can feel it from in the morning to even at 9 o'clock at night. It's going on. It's still like the heater is on. I say, God, you are really getting your people attention. I do believe we are living in the last days. I do believe that signs are there, and I know heat is global. It's not just here in Texas. In Greece, there are fires. Even on certain parts of the world, you've seen flooding. So again, I think it's imperative that we take heed and recognize the times that we're living in, and don't take it for granted. This is the time to live. I've seen that so many people are affected by different things, whether it's CPS or your own personal life, your own personal struggles. And I just want to come on here to encourage you. You're not alone. I go through mine too. I just have decided, no matter what comes or goes, I'm gonna keep fighting, and I'm going to keep believing and trusting in God, because he is a reliable resource. He is consistent, and he is faithful, and he never failed me. He never will. So that's why I want to come on here and hopefully let's shed some light on in your life with you as well, to tell you to stay encouraged. I always say, don't never put a period where there should be a comma, because guess what? Believe it or not, no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what you're facing, that God is not finished writing your story. And sometimes, in the midst of those tough seasons and those tough times, that's when all the substance is being built and created and formed. And that is what is one day the pain. Like I also say, you feel today will definitely, most definitely be your strength for tomorrow. So stay encouraged. Don't give up. Your children are counting on you. They're worth fighting for. I love Attorney Vince and Grace and his team. They got some things in place to empower you. I hope you take advantage of it. I hope you tune in. It is some very impactful resource for information that, again, when I was dealing with my CPS encounter years ago, that I wish I would have had this plethora of knowledge that they're giving you access to firsthand. And that is, again, knowledge is power, because sometimes it's just not knowing, what to say. It's not knowing who to say it to, but knowing what to say. I'm sure you might have heard the old cliche, it's not what you know, but it's who you know. And sometimes that can unlock different things in your life that can help you and release you to your next level in life and what you need to get out, whether it's your children in a corrupt system, or whether it's just you knowing what you need to do. Because I'm noticing that a lot of parents, which I think is smart, they have went through the effects and the pains and the struggles and all the things that CPS can bring. It have definitely empowered them to now to want to be paralegals, attorneys, even open up different safe havens and things that they do to try to help parents as they go through transition. And I can attest to that. I opened up Daddy Lights Ministry. That is for victims that's dealing with domestic violence, or special needs children that need access to resources, even elderly care. And definitely, when you go through some of the trenches of life and it hits you to your core and it makes you see life totally different, it gives you actually a new set of eyes. It definitely makes you want to dig in, and it helps you to realize more of your purpose and why God have you here on this earth. And it's a beautiful, fulfilling thing. I can definitely tell you that it have definitely made me realize why I'm here and what my purpose is and what I enjoy doing while I'm here. So again, don't take what you're going through as a final destination. God can still use this test to help elevate you into what he always called you to do, and to help you fulfill your purpose. God fulfilled purpose here on earth. So don't be discouraged. Stay encouraged. And I wanted to share a story with you this past week. I was discussing with the producer Grace that my child, which who unfortunately I had, and I'm pulling up something on my phone. I want to share my notes that I had, unfortunately, years ago when I went through my CPS encounter. I didn't have a caseworker that had integrity. I've even had people that work for CPS to say, you need to get another caseworker because she is not providing to you the information that you need. And as time went on, going through that CPS encounter, nearly a year or over a year, to be honest, I realized again, she was correct, that I heard the stories and I seen the things that she did. And as I look back on them, I understood why this person that shared this valuable information with me, why she said what she said. So again, I'm not speaking in reference to everybody that worked for CPS, because believe it or not, there are some good people that are good caseworkers that want you to win. They want you to be reunited with your children. I am only speaking in reference to the ones that lack integrity, the ones that are going out their way to help separate you from your families, and hopefully, and in their mind, maybe not even want to ever get you back in that relationship. So I'm speaking to the ones, there's the CPS workers that are not doing the right thing. They're the case workers that are not operating out of integrity. I experienced that as well. And I want to even go on to say, and I've kind of spoken a little bit before, but I just, I want to share that my unfortunate caseworker who didn't have integrity, she deemed my son as to be not fit for society. And it's so funny how people could easily label you and your children They deem you as someone that can never be qualified in their eyes or even capable. But again, the devil is a liar. Where you start out at doesn't mean that's where you're going to finish. And I thank God that He gave me the wisdom and the knowledge and the discernment to keep going, to keep fighting for my kids. Because I assure you, if I would have listened to the advice she gave me, I would have easily gave up on my me being a parent to my child, and I would have just threw in the towel and said, maybe she's right. Maybe my child does deserve to live in a I don't know, a broken, corrupt foster care system that's understocked, or don't let him. Maybe he does deserve to be. Maybe this is okay. Like she told me, won't you go on with your life? Isn't it something else that you want to do with your life? And I just, for the life of me, I'm thinking like, what parent would, parents normally don't put themselves first. We're known to, being moms, we're nurturers, even fathers, they're providers. And how do you just have your children who didn't ask to be here, first and foremost, just deem them over to a system that that's corrupt, that that's broken, that needs serious work, where it need to be broke down from the roots and built all the way back up again, and to leave that child or your children in that type of environment. I don't know what parent in their right mind would be okay with that. But those are some of the things that she told me. Hey, this is an opportunity now. You can be single. If there's something you ever want to do in life, you can go for it. But the reality is, whether I was single or not, I am now a mother, and I didn't have that liberty to have that freedom. I prefer to raise my children, and that is exactly what I did. I kept fighting for my children. I did not want my child to be another statistic in a system that I know that didn't have his best interest at heart. So again, I just want to share that with you. By them, placing my child, a young child at that, in a mental ward. Again, this is something that a caseworker that advised me to do, who lacked integrity. And I didn't listen. They say, well, he's going to be in this location. But what I did was I kept fighting. So I want to encourage all parents, all grandparents, all family members, all friends, anybody that knows somebody that is dealing with CPS right now and don't know what to do. I assure you, CPS is something that is affecting the world. I've heard Attorney Bent say he has cases in places that I think even in Alaska that I didn't even know that they had CPS cases. So this just goes to show you that this is something that is affecting more people than you realize. I've actually been told before that Texas, where I reside, born and raised, that they have more cases than anybody. I don't know if that's still true as of today, but more people are affected more than what you realize, honestly. So that's another reason why this platform, don't take it lightly, don't take it for advantage. If you know somebody that's dealing with CPS and they don't know what to do, they may be embarrassed, they may be ashamed. I had someone recently to reach out to me and say, hey, I passed on a coworker your information about the show Beautifully Bruised and the CPS show, because she's going through it and she needs some advice. So you will really be surprised. It could be a coworker, a family member even, or just someone that you know personally, you grew up with, that they might not want to talk to somebody, or don't know how. But this show is available 24/7, and it's a great way to plug in and to become engaged and tune in and plug in to advice that can help you try to win your children back and defeat CPS once and for all. So again, I highly recommend representation. That is what helped my trajectory. It changed the trajectory, I'm sorry, of my case. It brought in an attorney that was skillful, that was wise, that knew CPS laws, that was even aggressive when needed. Attorney Vance, if you're not able to get him, I highly recommend you tap into someone, whether it's a paralegal, someone that knows these laws. All of them they have the evidence that can, what it takes to help you, at least know the CPS law, so you know how to present yourself in court if you can't hire an attorney. That I highly recommend, because again, I did it, and I can assure you, once I did that, my the things that CPS were doing and getting away with, they quickly had to release what they were doing. And along, most importantly, they were ordered to release my child back home where he belonged once my attorney fought for us to come back together. And thank God that that happened. So again, I highly recommend representation. If you can, definitely get a paralegal or get knowledge in your head. Read up on these laws, your constitutional rights to do what's necessary to get your children back home where they belong. So I just definitely wanted to share that with you as well. Again, I won't be before you long. I know that today is Friday. We're getting ready for school to start back and many things and opportunities that you have to do. But I just want to give you some time to encourage you and let you know that your children, they are worth fighting for. I can even see a change in my child. And I just want to share this as encouragement. That same child that CPS seen as a child that wasn't fit for society, that he was deemed to be only in a mental institution. Even that same mental institution that they recommended with the caseworker, that mental institution was closed down. Why? Because they found out that the institution was heavily sedating their patients wrongfully, and they were not being treated the way they supposed to be treated. So that same facility was shut down, and it's been shut down for years. So I just want to tell you, that goes to show you where everybody don't have the right decision regarding your children. Don't nobody know, like my mom and my grandmother always say, you might give out, but don't never give up. My grandmother, who I speak of regularly, Rosie Lee Jones, she will be 106 on tomorrow. Okay. And if nothing else don't encourage you, let that encourage you. She is still smiling. She is still finding something to just thank God for, to see another day. It's many people that won't get that have seen that length of life. She's been through decades of life. And for her to tell me to this day, Trika, she always say, things have changed, and obviously they have. We can't deny that, from COVID and everything else that has transpired, inflation, things that is so expensive now. But what she tell me is, and to this very day, yes, things have changed, and they have. And then she go on, and you know what else she tell me? She said, the reason why things have changed? She say it's because of the people. It is the people that have caused the world to change. It is the people who are not operating out of integrity. It is the people that rather give you up to a broken system than rather take the time and resources to help build you up, to give you what you need to become a better parent, whether it's counseling, whether it's, resources to maybe bills, maybe it's daycare, maybe it's just family counseling. They rather just put you off in society, a quick fix, than take out the time to look into what you're really dealing with. Because I had a really good therapist that come on the show and said, it's not always people, think counseling is something about you that have made you unfit in life. No, it could very well be, like he said, it's what has happened to you in life. It could be a relationship. It could be a toxic relationship. It could be an unhealthy relationship, an abusive relationship even. It's something that occurred to you in life that might have thrown you off, that might have affected you in certain ways to have you thinking differently. But that's why I thank God for therapists. I thank God for counselors. I thank God for doctors and lawyers. I thank God for my grandmother, Rosalie Jones, who will be 106 on tomorrow. Yes, I did say she will be 106. She's not confined. We still have conversations. She still give me encouragement. And all I can say is, when I think about my grandmother, I think about the grace of God. I think about how faithful he is, how consistent he is. He have chosen her to still be here. I might not have my earthly mom and dad, but he have left a great jewel in the earth to still encourage me. She is family like no other. She is the one that tell me to this day, Trika, God must be leaving me here for a reason. And you know what? I must say he must be. Because again, at that age, and for her to still be here to just, things have changed. Of course, she may not hear as good and may not be as sharp as she once was. But even I still thank God for that, because I must admit in my 40s, things have changed. And she told me, keep living, they will. So and I can see that now. So what I'm saying is, don't take people for granted. Don't take life for granted. When I leave today, I'm gonna go and check on her and spend some time with her. Show people you appreciate them, that you love them. Appreciate yourself. Take self-care out for yourself, no matter what that looks like, whether it's walking, whether it's tuning into this station and getting some positive reinforcement, whether if it's you love to hear water, turn on Google. I had one of my pastors to tell me, my internet pastors, to say, if you can't go to a beach or go to a lake, maybe if you could just turn on Google, and they have all these different YouTube stations where you can just hear flowing water. It's peace about water. It's relaxation, whatever it takes to make you, love on yourself, because you're worthy. You deserve it. You've been through so much. You're enduring so much. And what better way to encourage yourself by taking out some self-care for yourself, no matter what that may looks like. Okay. So with that being said, I just wanted to share with you to hopefully encourage you. The kids that some of the CPS workers you might be dealing with, where they have no integrity, or whomever they may be, that's telling you that your kids are unfit, that's telling you that you're not worthy to raise your your children. Let them know that the devil is a liar. You don't have to let them know it, but I want to tell you this. Tell yourself that. You don't have to tell everybody what you're thinking. Sometimes knowledge is power is being in silence sometimes. You don't have to always voice or what your inner thoughts may be. Sometimes keep those things to yourself, because remember, CPS, they're watching how you carry yourself. They're watching how you conduct yourself. And it's always good to stay in a positive attitude. Don't let anger get the best of you. Not saying that, you don't have a reason to be mad. Not saying that you don't have a reason to be frustrated. You very well may be, but that doesn't mean you have to display that. Show the power by showing that you can operate in strength and silence. And a lot of people say that when you can operate in silence, that is a power like no other. You can keep yourself under self-control. You don't have to become unhinged. You can show them your strength in silence. And that says a lot about your character. So I just wanted to tell you, with the children that they say that are, in their play, maybe they placed your kids in foster care. Maybe you're not getting your visits like you deserve. Keep fighting for your children. My child that they said was only deemed to be in a mental ward, they told me to go on with your life. Don't look back. Let him stay in that mental ward. But when I tell you God made ways out of no ways, my attorney told me, God must be listening to your prayers, because I assure you, everything that they've tried to do to you has broken. Everything they've tried to do to you has failed. So sometimes God just want to see if he can trust you to go through the test, to go through the adversity, to go through the pain. The beauty of it is, what you're going through doesn't mean you're going to stay there. That is the beauty of it. Yeah, it don't look good. It don't even feel good as you're going through it. But let me be your living witness. And I'm sure you have many others around you to tell you that you might endure for a night. But guess what? Joy will come in the morning. You just got to stand your ground. Like my 106-year-old soon-to-be grandmother said, you might give out, but don't never give up. That is the difference. So stay and encourage, fight a good fight. Don't give out. Don't give up. Keep fighting for your children. I did. And I just want to, before I end the show today, that same child that my caseworker who lacked integrity when I had my CPS case years ago, who wanted him to be in a mental ward, that same child was recognized this past week on a syndicated platform, that one of the awesome the host of her show, she was on a major syndicated platform, who now has her own podcast, have chosen him to be on her show, because that same child that CPS said was unfit for society, they placed him in a mental ward, has now have learned how to create his own video games. He knows how to do PowerPoint presentations. He knows how to build websites. He actually knows how to build his games. And that is the reason why they are featuring him on their show. That's going to be airing really soon, and the world is going to be introduced to. Can you believe that? What if I would have listened to what CPS said? This is a child that's unfit for society. This is a child that needs to be locked away in a mental ward. Now God has given him the opportunity to grace a platform where he now knows how to build his own video games. Okay. He's now able to be on major platforms to show the world his brain. The brain that they said was damaged or not capable to comprehend is a brain that knows how to build in this digital world we live in. It's no telling where God is going to take him. And I have received confirmation. I've received news that God is going to do great things through his life. And I cannot tell you that I'm so glad. Even I was going through the treachery of with CPS, when I felt so exhausted, when I felt like giving up, when I felt like it's not going to get any better. If I would have listened to what CPS was telling me, if I would have just gave out on the feelings I was feeling, because you know what? Feelings change. They do, guys. One minute you might feel tired and overwhelmed. Give it a little bit more time. You might be like, you know what? I can make it. I can do this. Sometimes it just takes some time to rethink some things through. Okay. So again, I thank God I didn't give up. If I did, I wouldn't have the opportunity that I have now with my son being on these platforms and creating video games. I never thought back then he was even capable of even doing things like this. They even seen him as gifted and talented in the math program. I am not a good person when it comes to math. Okay. I was telling somebody this morning, he didn't get that from me. I don't know where he got that from, but it wasn't from me. But you never know who God is blessing you to raise. You never know who that child is going to grow up to be. That child can grow up to take care of you one day. Oh my God. I feel that, guys. So it pays to not give up, to not give in. My child tells me to this day, Mama, thank you for not giving up on me. You might not, you might not hear it now, and you might not think they don't recognize what you're doing and what you're going through, but they do. They do. So I want to encourage you, no matter where you are in life, dealing with CPS or not, don't give up. God is not done writing your story. What looks too big or uncertain right now, you never know how God is going to turn that thing around. Because what I've learned is if you have the heart and the vision to want to help people for the better, God will show up in the least, when you least expect. He will. What was meant for evil, God can turn it for your good. Just for you wanting to help people, just for you wanting to try to make people's lives better. God knows, he sees what you're doing, and he will bless you in ways that you could never imagine. Things you weren't even sure was going to work out. You look up, it's working for your good, for your vision, for your plan. So I just want to encourage you today to tell you to please keep God first. I am a living witness. What he can do for you is mind blowing. It's some things that have coming about to me when I felt like giving up. And when they came about, it made me rethink and matter of fact, get ready and start preparing. And I'm so grateful for God and for who he is in my life. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you today to encourage you, to tell you what he did for me. He's not a respecter of a person. He will do the same thing for you. You just have to trust him. Keep faith in him. Don't never give up. Keep fighting for your children. And I can't wait to hear your testimonies. I love to hear your, when you come on and you comment about what you're going through and what you did and what have changed for the better in your life. I've even received some comments where people got their children back. I love to hear that. And people need to hear that. It encourages us. It gives you fuel to your soul to know what you're doing. It makes a difference. You matter. Your children matter. So please, again, the pain you feel today will be the strength you will have for tomorrow. Keep God first. Don't you never give up for fighting for your children. Keep tuning into this platform. Many shows are on here to uplift you, to encourage you, to let you know that the best is still yet to come. I am your host, Latrika Jones. You have a blessed weekend. Stay cool and keep God first. Until next time.